Hello, hi guys, we are live. Hello, let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna put this camera a little closer. Hi guys, hello. Hi Gloria, how are you? Hi guys, so today we are live with Andis to talk about what Andis does best, which is Clippers. I'm in love with all of them, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about how and what is the best option to use the Clippers at home, how to use it, how to maintain your blades, what is the different types of Clippers, what is the different types of blades, because sometimes it can be confusing when we are shopping for a new clipper, especially right now where the situation with COVID is going hard again, and we are home, and some places are shutting down their business, and it's important, I think, more than ever to learn how to take care really well of your fur baby at home. Yeah, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Just please comment below. I'm here to answer anything you guys need, and hoping that I can help you how to proper groom your fur baby at home. Okay? Alright, so now that we have already some people watching, please let me know where you're from. Isn't that cute? She has dreadlocks, look. I'm cording her hair. Let me know where you're tuning in from, the country, the city. I love hearing about it. Okay, so let's talk about how to groom your dog. First and foremost, we already did a live that you guys can see here in the Dog Tone post about brushing your dog, dematting, about de-shedding. So this ties in with what we talked about it before, which is how to properly groom your dog. Because it's very important that your dog, hi from Florida, USA. It's very important when you're grooming your dog, when you're gonna trim the coat, that the coat is properly clean and bathed to use a clipper. Because if the hair is not clean, you might have a harder time to groom it and to look good. You might do it, but it might not look good. Okay. So first and foremost, different types of clippers. So when it comes to the traditional clippers, there is two different styles right here. This one, which is the happy hour, and this happy hour, I really love it because it's very light. So what is it about this clipper? So this one, if you're shopping for a new clipper and you want something to do it at home, hi from New York. If you're looking for something to do it at home, what is the advantages of this? First, it's very little. It's very small, very versatile. And one thing that I love about is that all the weight of the stuff that would be in here, they put it on the base of the cord. Let me show you. So see, all the weight of the clipper is here, not here. So this is like super light, and it's very easy to use at home. But it has a cord, which I'm spoiled right now because Andis came up with so many great new cordless clippers that I love it, but I love the cordless even more. But there are different budgets and different types of necessities. Like for example, I use clippers all day, every day. So I do like the comfort of not having the cable. But this is a great option to use it at home for like everyday pets. And I use this a lot. My assistant likes this one better than this one. I like this one better than this one. But it's about options. So what is there about? So these clippers have detachable blades, okay? I don't know exactly how long it is, but I can show you that it's pretty long. Look at that. Ta-da! I think I can go to the other side of the room with this cord, but I don't know exactly how many feet longer it is, okay? But I'm sure somebody from Andis might be able to answer this question right now or later, okay? Yeah, they are gorgeous clippers. Okay, so let's talk about the detachable blade system. What is the difference between a detachable blade clipper for a adjustable blade clipper? So this is another clipper that we're going to talk about very soon. But a detachable blade clipper is a traditional method that you can just press this little switch right back behind it and fold the clipper back, the blade back, okay? So you can just exchange the sides of the blades, and they have, you know, all this huge range of sizes. So there is the number 10 and the 15, which they usually come with the clipper, and there is 30, there is 5. Different than human hair, at least from my experience. The higher the number of the blade for dogs, the shorter the hair is going to be. So if you're using a blade 30, it's going to be shaved. If you're using a blade 40, it's going to be like surgery shave. It's going to be skin showing, okay? Then if you use a 4, you're going to leave 9.5 millimeters. So when you're shopping for blades, you can literally just look at the size that it's on the clipper, and you can see how long the hair is going to be. So for example, the blade number 4, it's 9.5 millimeters. Oh, see, so the happy hour clipper has a 14 heavy duty power cord. So it's like 14 feet is a long cord. Okay, so yes. So these guys, detachable blade system, this is the Post ZR2 Flora, which is the new design that came out this month actually. They have, so you turn it on, and it has adjustable speed as well, okay? And we're gonna go about that too. So I just want to introduce you guys to the clippers first. So this is a detachable blade clipper, and this one is cordless, and it has interchangeable batteries. So if you're using a lot, if you're grooming a lot of dogs, we own a bunch of acres in Tennessee, and I bet we could have a bunch of four-legged animals because we wouldn't want yeah, exactly. Get one of each. So the interchangeable blades, what is it gonna say? If you're doing a lot of dogs with this one, honestly, the Post ZR2 Flora never died on me because, you know, when I'm not using, I just put it back on the base. However, this clipper also has interchangeable battery, so you can click right here and ta-da! Well, take the battery out. And then you can just replace for another one, and you can have them both charging at this, you know, when you're using one and have the other one charging, and when one is not using, use the charge the other one. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now what is the difference between an interchangeable blade clipper and an adjustable blade clipper? This is a Post Ally 5, okay? This one, at least in my opinion, is not as heavy duty as this one, okay? So let's suppose if you're grooming a dog that is very matted, unless you're gonna shave it to the skin, this one, it's sturdier, I feel like. You can use for, you can even, if your dog is very matted and you need to trim the hair before the bath, you can use this one, I would recommend. However, I think this one is what the groomers are addicted right now because it's very versatile. It has 5 different sizes. It's a 5-in-1 blade that you can just adjust, look, with your clipper. And you know, it's very versatile because combined with the guard combs, you can have a huge range of sizes, and you know, just one little clipper and one little blade. Okay. All right. This one goes from the size 9 all the way to 40, which is that skin shave that we were talking about. Okay. So Post Ally 5, Post CR Flora 2. Okay. Interchangeable blades and adjustable blades. Okay, we went over that. Now, what is a guard comb? How to use it? There's different types of guard combs available on the market. So there is the plastic ones, see? These ones actually come with the LA5 that you can just insert it, and it's ready to go. So you have all that range of sizes, and you also have more range of sizes combining with the guard comb, okay? When I'm using the guard comb, I like to use this clipper on the 40 size, okay? So the difference between the plastic guard combs and the metal guard combs is that with the plastic guard combs, you're gonna have to go through with the hair many more times than with the metal guard comb, okay? So if you wanna invest on something that's gonna get the finishing smoother, I would invest on a metal guard comb, okay? With the metal guard combs, I would recommend using a blade number 30, okay? They fit in blades number 30, 15, and 10. And this one, what is the difference? It has a hook on the back that you can put it right here, pull it, and it's really firm. These ones, the plastic ones, that they're just snap-on, there's a chance that you're like going with the clipper. If you find a mat, it can snap out and possibly make a hole in the dog, okay? So if you want to use the plastic one, make sure the dog is washed and brushed really well before you use the guard comb, okay? I personally love to use the metal guard comb. Okay, so now what everybody's expecting, how to properly use it on the dog, okay? So, for example, Blue right here, I could use a blade number 5 on her. So see, there's a ceramic blade number 5, which is a 6.3 millimeters blade. And how to properly use it. Let me take these things out of the way. Blue bees. I like to hold, what is important, especially if you have a dog like Blue that has a little extra cushion. Turn on your clipper first, of course. Stretch the skin, okay? And then always in the direction where the hair grows. Can you talk about the 5 speeds on the posterior too? When to choose which speed? Okay, so overall, I usually go with the medium speed, okay? If your dog is really matted and you need to, and it's harder to go through, I use the higher speed because, you know, it's a little sturdier to get through those mats. If you find a mat, by the way, if your dog is like matted to the skin, be careful when you're clipping so you don't hurt the dog, okay? So if your dog is matted, what you have to do is put the higher speed, and then you're gonna go in a little, come back, in a little, come back, in a little, come back, in, back, so you can open up that hair. Also, about the speeds, when you're using a traditional blade and you're shaving the whole dog, there is a difference, of course, on the time that you're using, because this is metal and this is ceramic, okay? So when the clipper is on, this is like going back and forth. What it means is that the blade can get hot. So if you're doing the whole body of the dog at home, you might want to have 2 of the same blade. So when one gets hot, you take it out, put the other one, and keep going, okay? There is also this product that Andis has, which is a Cool Care. It's a spray that you can put directly on the blade, and it cools down the blade, and it also lubricates and disinfects the blade, okay? So it's a 3-in-1 product. Okay, so again, stretch the skin. Make sure you go always in the direction that the hair grows. Never do this, okay? Always in the direction where the hair grows. Look at that. Any more questions? Nope. Okay. Pretty easy. So with the head, lift the head. There you go. There you go. Usually, if you want to go a little bit all the way out, I like to use a shorter blade on the body and a little bit longer on the legs. Because I feel like the dog looks more balanced. And because sometimes, for example, Blue here that has a short trim overall right now, she, I feel like the legs look a little thin. Right, Blue? One thing that is very important, because some people might think like, oh my god, that dog is so good, my dog will never behave like that. One thing that is good, since they are puppies, okay, if you have a clipper at home, before you go all the way and use the clipper on the dog, turn it on, okay, and massage the dog's body with the clipper. Just so they don't freak out, so they see that it's something that is okay. Because it's good for them to get used to the vibration. Because think about it, if you get a clipper that is moving and put it closer to your ear, it's very loud. The dogs have a more sensitive hearing, so it's good for them to get used to, since they're very young, to the noise of the clipper. If you're planning on taking them to the groomer since the very beginning, you can use electric toothbrush, okay? So they can hear that vibration, and you can massage, and then they get used to it. All right? Okay, so let's make sure we go all over. See, I always like to pass the blade in the same spot several times to make sure the hair is very well cleaned up and taken care of. There you go. Tip for getting your dog used to clipper. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's good for nail grinders too. Including, you can even use the clipper to get them used to the nail grinder. You just turn on the clipper and massage the feet. A lot of dogs hate getting their feet done with clippers or with vibration on their nails. So it's very good to get them used to it since they're very young. The younger the better, honestly. Even if it's before they have all the shots and we can actually take them to the groomer, it's good to get them used to the process and the noise and all the sensations that they're gonna have that they're not used to it, Have a mini Aussie with double coat, short and coarse and long. Which blade should I use? It all depends of how long do you want to keep the hair and how much do you want to brush and you want to maintain it. Because, for example, Blue here, she has a very versatile trim because it's very short. So I don't have to brush her legs every day. Now, if you want to keep a longer hair, you can use, which, I would, if I had a dog like yours, I would use a 30 blade, okay? And I feel like what would look good would be the 5/8 guard comb on top of it, like that. But you need to make sure that your dog is very well brushed and bathed before you give them a haircut with the guard comb, okay? All right, I think that size will look good in your dog. Okay, let me go back to Blue. Hi, Blueies. One thing that is also good to make sure that the hair is neat, brush the dog against the grain so you can lift the hair. And also keep in mind the different textures of hair can also influence how long the hair is going to be. Because if the hair is very straight and sleek, when you use the blade, the hair will fold down and the blade won't get it, okay? So for example, if you have a Yorkie and a Poodle and you use the same blade on both dogs, sometimes you have a slightly different length on both of them because one hair is too straight and the other one stands up, okay? So that's what is good, why it's good to always brush your dog against the grain and then go over the clipper. And then do it like a few times to make sure that the haircut is very well done. Okay. So for whoever is curious, Blue we're in the process of cording this area of her head. So with the cording, you separate, you know, the mats and the curls, so they start forming dreadlocks. But what is important is it needs to form about an inch after, hi baby, an inch out of the skin. So see, the skin is not matted at all. She has like an inch of good hair before she had the cords. So this one we're maintaining, right Blue, and taking care of it, so she looks very stylish. We keep long in the winter, very short in summer. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's important. Well, what you can also do is if you go shorter, let's suppose your dog got matted and you have to go shorter, you can always get him a sweater for the winter. Which is Blue's case. She has a whole wardrobe. Okay, let me make sure I just finish this here real quick. Alright, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. You know, if you want to be a pro, always keep your table clean. It keeps your eyesight, and you don't get confused with what the hair is on the dog and what the hair is on the table, which hair is on the dog and which hair is on the table. Okay, so this is good enough. You get this hair over here, lift the armpit. So see these areas, the armpit, which is right here, okay, and the tuck up, which is this little skin over here. It's very important to be careful because if you go with the clipper right here, there is a chance that the skin is gonna get inside of one of these teeth and it's gonna nick the dog, okay? So when you're doing the tuck up, I always put my hand here and go down, okay? Down, down. Or what you can do, you can stretch the skin up and then go down. It's just important not to go straight so you don't people at least brush and comb their dogs? Well, we have another live on Doggington Post, if you scroll down after this live is over, that is about brushing and combing your dog. So if you guys want to learn also about the brushing and combing, we talked about it 2 months ago, and we also talked about de-shedding. So there's a whole library here that you guys can learn a lot about grooming your dog at home on the Doggington Post. Okay, so after going over with the blade and the whole body, and being careful, of course, if your dog is older, it's always good to touch and see if there's any skin tags before you would just go with the clipper, okay? You need to make sure you don't hurt them by trying to do it too fast. This is the kind of thing that we just need to take our time and know our dogs and know where they have what, okay? And if you're doing the legs and you're doing it with a short clipper and your dog is matted, also be mindful of the dew claw, okay? Sometimes you look in the middle of the mats, it's harder to identify where the toe is, so just make sure you can find it. Okay, so next up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave her feet and the sanitary part. So this is the adjustable blade. I'm gonna go all the way with the 40 to shave her paw pads. So with the paw pads, I like to lift them. Just be mindful of the dog dynamic. How do you decide if you're going to use a blade 4 or 5 versus a guard comb? Guard combs are usually more versatile when you need a higher length than 4 and 5, okay? If you have to choose between a 4 guard comb, which is 9.5 millimeters, and this guard comb, which is 10 millimeters. So the sizes are pretty similar, honestly. When you're purchasing, if you buy a box of the guard comb, you're gonna get more value than if you get each one of the blades. However, the blades are smoother and sharper, and you can use on dirty hair. Now, the guard comb, you have to have your dog really well brushed and dematted before you can use the guard comb, because if there's a mat, the guard comb gets stuck. Because see, there's a comb on top of it. So it will get stuck if there is a mat. However, the blade, if there is a mat, with the foreblade, which is about the same size, you can possibly go under the mat with this one, okay? So that's when you usually decide. If I have to choose on my daily work routine, if I'm gonna use a guard comb or a clipper, I usually always do this blade, okay? Because it's easier, but I have both. Now, if the hair is already clean, the blades have a limitation of how tall they can be. For example, there's guard combs all the way to 1 inch long, see? So it's harder to find a blade that's gonna be this long. So guard combs usually are when you want longer than the sizes of the blades. At least on my opinion, okay? All right, so talking about the feet. Be careful when you're moving the leg. Like, you don't wanna stretch the leg too far to the side. You don't wanna stretch the leg too far up. Because, if your dog is older or more sensitive, you can hurt their joints. So I usually just twist the legs lightly inwards, put on the 40 blade, and then I finger feet. Okay, I put also my finger here right behind the last paw pad and take this hair out. So this is an adjustable blade, okay? So there's 5 in 1. With the fingers, if you're doing it at home, avoid getting inside like this, let's see, like this on the finger, because there's a chance that you can hurt this part, okay? So I usually just do the top part if you're doing it at home, and you can even like go inside on the sides, but not on the toes, okay? All right. This is going. Let me know if you guys have questions. Again, I love hearing where you guys are watching from. And remember, if you want to learn about brushing, dematting, and de-shedding, we have several other lives that I and other groomer educators from Andis did on the Doggington Post. There's Andis ambassadors that did some lives here. And to groom your dog at home, especially on these times, they're very, very helpful. So thank you, Andis, for spreading the word and teaching everybody how to properly take care of their babies at home. Okay, so there we go. Clean feet. This is essential also, especially if you have hardwood floors, okay? Your dogs need to have a grip, a stability, so they don't slide too much. If the dog slides too much, especially small dogs, they can have joint problems, okay, knee problems. So it's very important to keep those areas very clean. If you don't have an adjustable blade, you can use a regular clipper with the 30 blade, okay? Or 10. 10 will work too. I would like to use the 30 on the feet just because it makes the feet cleaner. Okay, all right. Now trimming the booty. Also very important so they don't get dirty. One thing that is important that I forgot to mention. All the blades, they're not like the same length all the way to the tip. See how they have like a break right here? And the 4 that is higher has like a little different length over here too. If you're doing it at home, I wouldn't scoop it, okay? I wouldn't scoop the paw pads because there's a chance that you're gonna nick the dog. So if you maintain at home, I would just go over the top, okay? It's safer and it's easier to do. If you feel confident and your dog is good, then you can go ahead and scoop it, but just be careful. Anyways, going back to the blades. See how they have different lengths when it comes to the little comb and the tip of the blade? Not length, sorry. They have a different inclination. That's how the clipper goes on the dog. So when you're landing the clipper, you're not gonna land it like this precisely. You do it more like that. So see, the body of the clipper doesn't necessarily touch the dog's skin. And that's also great in case the blade's getting warmer, because the comb will never get as warm as the body of the clipper. And if for whoever is arriving now, if the blade does get warm, use a cool care, and it makes the blade cooler right away. But I would strongly recommend also having 2 of the same lengths of the blade, so you can use one. If it gets warm, put some cool care, let it rest while you use the other one. All right. Let's get back at blue. We already did all the 4 feet, I think. Let's see. What you can do to make sure the feet is cleaner too, you can pull this hair forward. See how the hair comes up. Then you go back at it. Okay? All right. Make sure I finished this. Yes, I did. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now let's do the legs. Remember, brush them really well. Make sure they're not matted. I'm brushing it against the grain, so the hair grows that way. I'm brushing them up. And you have to stay cool. Yes, you do. It's very important and safer to stay cool, especially these days. All right, brushing it, brushing it. Blue doesn't like the brushing very much. Do you, Blue? There we go. There we go. Okay, so when using the guard comb, a pro tip is when choosing a blade, if your intention of the blade is to use the guard comb, I like to use the cat blade. Why? Because cat blades, they have an additional feature that reduces hair buildup. So when you're using the guard comb, for example, I'm gonna use this one, which is very similar to the length of the body. When you're using the guard comb on the dog, a lot of times the hair can accumulate back here. So the cat blade reduces the hair buildup. So you can go use it more without having to blow the hair out or remove the guard comb and clean it up, okay? You can use it longer. Same thing, I will hold the paw, direction that the hair grows. Boom, boom, boom. Clean all that hair up. Did it one time? Does it matter which blade size you're using when you attach a comb? Yes. You need to use, you cannot attach a comb to blade number 4. It has to be a 15, 10, or 30. I mean 10, 15, or 30. Okay, so it has to be, because they have different sizes, see? So the guard comb fits this size of blade, which is the 15, 10, and 30. Okay? Yeah, no, the 30 cat blade is as tight as a 30. The 40 is shorter than a cat blade, okay? Alright, there we go. Guys, I'm sorry, I feel like my accent is stronger today. Is everybody understanding everything well? we go. Just like that. Yep. See how I used a very slight different size on the body and on the legs, and the legs, they already looked better than if I had used the same length all around. Okay, there we go. Now, to finish up the feet, what I like to do is grab a 5-in-1 blade, or you can just put a 30 blade or a 40 on the detachable clipper, and I just go around the feet like this, around them up, okay? So sometimes I just hold the hair down, look, holding the hair down, and just taking the tips without going with the blade on top of it, okay? Just like that. Just so you avoid having to use scissors on the feet, in case you're not, a professional groomer. All my clippers are Andis. So this is the Andis posterior flora, 5-speed. There is the Pulse Li5, and there is the Happy Hour that I was talking about it earlier. That is this one, okay? It has really long cord, I believe it's 14 feet, heavy duty, and it's very light. See, if you compare their sizes, this one is lighter, but this one doesn't have a cord. Okay, keep grooming this girl. There we go. She's so sweet. And remember, if you need more info, Doggington now has a library of information that you can use to groom your dog at home in these times that sometimes you can't get them groomed, or you don't feel safe going somewhere to get them groomed. Get yourself some Andis Clippers, and you can do it at home with help of the educators on Doggington Post. So thank you, Doggington Post and Andis. Alright. Ta-da! Okay. Now again, I'm going to use the clipper and round the feet. I can use a little bit more here. Blue is so sweet. How can she come teach my dogs how to behave? Remember I told you, before you go all out of the clipper, turn it on your dog when he's calm and at home, and massage them just with the body of the clipper. If you don't have a clipper at home, use a electric toothbrush, because they need to get used to the sensation of the vibration and the noise. So before you just go all for the clipper and they freak out, just use the clipper on the body. If you want, you can even take the blade off, and you just see it's less noise. And then you start with this one, and then you got tingle over here. And then you put the blade, and then you do it again. See? So you can go by steps. All right? Okay. Let's there's a hair right here on her armpit that I want to take it off. More questions? How to bring your dog at home? Talking about all the blades and the guard combs. There we go. Okay. One thing that is very important is how to take care of. I'm having trouble accessing the live feed. Will it be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded and it will be available here on Dogington Post for you to watch later. And while you edit, just go ahead and watch the other lives and learn more about how to groom your dog at home, okay? Now, with the blades, after you're done, it's very important to remove them. I like to clean mine once up. You can use a toothbrush to clean the blades, always in that direction. Never rub the toothbrush that way because they can get the blade dull, okay? It's very important to make sure and take care of your blades because, a lot of times it's very easy to I finished the dog finally, put my clipper away and forget about it to 6 weeks later when I have to use it again. And if your blade gets rusted or you're not cleaning it properly and lubricating, it can go bad. So if you want a long-lasting clipper and blade, you need to keep them clean and lubricated. So that's why the cool care is here. Make sure you clean it really well. You can literally give it a good wash with the cool care. See? Ta-da! It's disinfectant, lubricates, and cools the blade down. All right? Then you dry it. And when you buy a clipper, usually they send you a little oil. You can put some extra oil and then put your baby, well taken care of, in a place that is dry. It doesn't have a lot of moisture because you don't want your blades to get rusted. Okay? How often do you oil? You can do it, if you don't use it a lot of times, you can do it every 2 weeks or once a month. But if you're using it every day, I do it every day. I clean those blades every day, disinfect them every day. And sometimes in between dogs, disinfecting, always in between dogs, lubricating, sometimes in between dogs. But every time in the end of the day, clean your blades, lubricate them, and put it away. Okay, never leave the blade dirty because, yes, it can get dull, all right? But the good part too is that if it does happen and you have a clipper, you can just order the blades individually. You don't have to buy the whole clipper. Okay, so is there any more questions? You guys already learned how to trim the body, how to trim the legs, how to use a guard comb, the differences between detachable blades, adjustable blades, plastic guard combs, metal guard combs, how to run the clipper through the body, how to do paw pads. Is there more questions? Let me know. Dogington Post is saying that we have a great article and video with Andis Grooming on clipper and blade maintenance right here. All right, see, there we go. Okay, guys, well, I'm about to end this live. Me and Blue are very thankful for Dogington Post and Andis for having us here. And if you guys have any questions, just comment down below, even after this live is over. I'm going to try to be on it, come back and answer your questions. So hope you guys stay safe and have a great week. Okay? Bye-bye.